Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a live recording of a 50-minute full body flexibility practice. I use my bolster and my strap today. Bo is very helpful at the beginning of the class, but then he completely disappears. So if you can make it through the first bit without really looking at me, being able to see me, you're gonna be completely fine. Find some space to move and let's get started. Okay, we're gonna start laying down. If you want to lay on a pillow of some kind, you can. If you want to have your straps close by, have them close by as well. But once you are on your back, maybe bend your knees and plant your feet first on the ground. And maybe scoot your feet a little closer towards your hips, towards your glutes. You might even kind of heel toe your feet nice and close together. Maybe give your knees a little bit of a squeeze together too. And then if you wanted to make a diamond shape with the legs, you have room to do so. You might let the knees fall out wide. And then if you find that your feet are too close to your hips, you could always slide them further away. Rest your arms somewhere comfy as well. Maybe turning your palms to face up. And if you feel like you need to move around or make some adjustments, feel free to do so. Letting your eyes close if they're still open. Let's take a slow, deep breath in. Feel your belly expand, feel your body with air. And let it go. Let's do that again. A slow, deep breath in. And out. One more time. Fill up with as much air as you possibly can. And let it all go. So allowing yourself to slow down. Breathe however feels good. Let you soften throughout your body. Maybe finding some stillness for a few moments. We're going to stay just a little bit longer. If you do like to reach your arms above your head, maybe kind of stretching, maybe just resting your hands on the ground, feeling the shoulders a little bit more. And if you did move your arms up, stay for a deeper breath in. As you breathe out, slide your arms back to your side. Continue to move a little bit more, maybe wiggling the fingers, the toes. Maybe starting to bring your knees back together, maybe all the way together, a gentle squeeze of the knees. Maybe your feet are side by side as they plant on the ground. Now, if you're laying on top of something, you can start to take it out and lay flat on your back. Your straps close by, but you don't have to grab them just yet. But we're gonna lay flat and you might hug your knees in towards your chest. You might take a rock side to side. Just feel your back pressing into the ground. Your nice long spine, maybe a gentle massage for the low back. We won't use our straps just yet, but bring your feet to the ground if you have them lifted and take your right foot and cross it over top of your left quad for figure 4. You can keep your left foot on the ground or you can lift it up into the air, maybe holding on to the back of the left leg, maybe flexing the feet, maybe hugging the legs a little closer to the chest. Just notice how your right leg feels today, the glutes, the hip, the entire leg in this figure 4. Just another few moments here. If you want to notice your low back, maybe gently push it down into the ground. See if that changes what you feel throughout your legs, your hips. And let's stay for just another inhale. You can use the exhale to start to let your legs go. Bring your feet all the way down to the ground. Keep your knees bent, your feet planted. Maybe take a little sway of the knees side to side. We're going to switch. Our left foot can start to make its way onto the right quad. Your right foot could stay down on the ground this time. Maybe the right foot will lift up into the air. Hold your legs somehow if you'd like. Maybe flex the feet a little bit. And just check in with how you feel through your left leg now. The glutes, the hip. For the last few moments on this side, you might pay a little bit more attention to the low back. Maybe press it down ever so slightly. See if it changes what you feel. Let's take just one more inhale on this side. Let the exhale bring your legs, your feet back down. Maybe adding a little bit of a sway side to side. And then we are going to be finding our straps. When you're ready, you can start to lift your right foot up and add your strap. You don't have to use a strap. You could hold your leg with your hands. But if you can place your strap or strap-like object on the ball of your right foot, send your heel up. My assistant is in full force today. You might bend your right knee a little bit. And then maybe find the length through the leg again. Find your hamstring, your calf, your ankle, if you're lucky. Now our left leg can stay bent, or you can straighten it out long if you want a little extra. You might take a moment to guide your right toes towards your forehead, towards the top of your mat ever so slightly. And then we can either stay here with everything kind of centered, or we can try to make a diagonal line, starting with the right foot. You might kind of let it tip out to the side just a little bit, maybe to be in line with your right shoulder. Maybe guiding the toes towards the top of your mat just a touch more. And then your left foot could also go out to the left side a little bit. If your knee's bent, you could just heel toe the foot out a little wider if you'd like. Your leg is out long, your foot might be on the edge of your mat, might go a little further than that. But if you're exploring this diagonal line, you can kind of keep widening the feet if you want to. You can let the right foot tip out to the right. You can let the left foot keep moving out to the left. And wherever your legs happen to be, let's try to glue our low back down. So if you did find some sort of diagonal line with the legs, we're going to slowly come back and recenter everything. So bring your right leg straight up above you. Bring your left leg in so it's kind of in the middle of your mat as well. Just reset. Send your right heel up. Hold your leg or hold your strap. One more breath on this side. And then we're going to start to bend the right leg to take the strap off the foot. You can bend your left leg too if you did send it out long. Just bring both of your feet back down to the ground. Bend your knees. Maybe shake it out a little bit with a sway of the knees, side to side. We're going to be switching, left foot lifting up. Add your strap or hold your leg, sending the heel up. Maybe bending the left knee a little more and then lengthening the leg again. And the right leg too. If you want to send it out long, go ahead. And let's just keep things centered for a moment. And then if you did want to move a little bit into some kind of diagonal line, we might start with the left foot, kind of falling out towards the left just slightly, guiding the toes towards the top. And then maybe adding your right foot too. And then maybe as you stay, the legs might want to get a little wider. You can let them move. Left leg to the left, right leg to the right. And then just noticing the low back, gently pressing it down. Trying to keep the body level. Now, if you have your legs out to the side, we can recenter. Left leg, then the right. Sending the heel up one more time, maybe trying to point the toes towards the forehead. Take just one more inhale. As you exhale, you can start to release. Bend your knees, plant your feet, move your strap off to the side, maybe taking a sway of the knees side to side. And then we will make our way up to seated. Roll over or rock forward. And we're going to be moving into our lovely chicken wing shoulder opener. And now I just got a couple extra options if the chicken wing doesn't work. You don't have to sit with your legs out wide and the knees bent. You can sit in any comfy seat and simply bring your hands maybe to the hips, maybe to the low back with your palms facing away. And that's basically the same thing as the chicken wing. Now, if you do feel comfortable with your legs out in front, you can add that in. And you can do one arm at a time. So we might start with the right hand if we want to do one at a time. Maybe the hand will find the low back. Again, you can sit cross-legged if you like. You could sit with the legs in front of you bent. So you could also do one leg too. You want to bend the other one in, whatever's comfiest. You don't have to tuck the elbow into the knee. It might rest on top of the quad and it might tuck in to the knee or quad area. Let your palm face away from you if possible. Maybe your hand is on your side, kind of close to your belly. Maybe you're tipping forwards a little bit. Maybe you're even spreading your fingers wide to kind of keep your hand in place. And I'm going to do just one arm at a time since I'm still here on one side. But if you'd like to do both, you can do both. Let's stay for just another breath or two. If you are doing one arm at a time, you can stay if you're doing both, but you can slowly start to release your arm, your hand back in front of you. And if you wanted to be sitting cross-legged, for the other side, you might just cross your legs the other way. A little shoulder roll if you'd like. Your left hand, maybe it's close to the hip, maybe the low back, palm facing away. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you do like to sit with the feet wide, the knees bent. And if the elbow can get a little closer to the knee, maybe it's on top of the leg, maybe it's inside the leg, palm facing out. Maybe fingers spread wide. Feel your arm, your shoulder, maybe your back if you're lucky too. Stay for another breath or a couple extra if you'd like, and slowly releasing your arm, your hand, everything back in front. You can find a comfy seat for a moment. Maybe taking a little bit of a shoulder roll. We will be moving into tabletop though, onto our hands and knees. And you have options here. You can either stay on both of your knees. If you like to have one leg out to the side, you can start with the left leg going out to the side. We're gonna be bringing our chest down though. So if you wanna focus on your legs, you might bring your left foot out to the side. Maybe you'll stay on your hands. Maybe you'll drop to your forearms, or if you've got a pillow, you could also rest on your pillow. Now, if we wanna add some shoulders into this today, you might rather stay on both of your knees and bring your right arm under your chest. The left arm can reach forwards, or maybe it's more beside you, depending on what your left leg is doing. But we're gonna try to bring the right shoulder all the way down, or maybe onto your pillow. So you can decide what your left arm's gonna do too. Maybe it's reaching forwards, maybe it's beside you a little bit. Decide what your legs are doing as well. And then whether you're on both knees or you've got your left leg out to the side, doesn't really matter. But if you feel like the left arm isn't doing much for you, you might lift the hand, maybe to the hip. Maybe your hand can rest on your low back with your palm facing up. Maybe your hand slides towards your right hip too. Now, if you've got your left leg out long, and you want to go a little further, you might see how close your right hand can get to that foot. You could make this more of a twist. And depending on how much you feel like you might be twisting right now, that might decide where your head is. You might be resting on your forehead and looking at the ground. You might be resting on your right cheek, or you might even be able to take a peek up above you. Now, as we slowly make our way out of this, I want you to start with your left arm. If you did, move it and lift it up. Start to bring that arm back down to the ground first before you do anything else. Place it somewhere where you feel like if you push into it, it's going to help you lift up and off of your right arm. You're holding your foot with your right hand. You can let it go. Start to push into the left hand. Lift yourself up as gracefully as you're able to do. And if you've got your left leg out to the side, you can slide it in two. So setting up your tabletop again. From here, a moment to maybe sway the hips side to side. Shake it out a little bit. And then you can decide. Is your right leg going to go out to the side? Are you going to stay on your knees? If you need to bring the ground closer to your left arm and shoulder, sometimes a pillow coming under the arm is really comfy and nice. Maybe you're focusing on legs today a little more than your shoulders. You can stay on your hands, forearms maybe, or if we're going to try to bring that left arm down, you don't have to think about the twist just yet. You can just drop that shoulder down. Maybe the right arm is reaching forwards. Maybe it is beside you. And then if your right hand is going to be lifting up, maybe it finds the hip, maybe the low back, trying to maybe shine the palm up and away from your back. Maybe it finds the left hip or hip crease or knee. You can open the chest. You can turn the gaze, whatever feels good. Now, if your right arm, hand is lifted up, start there, bring it back to the ground, place it somewhere where you can use it to help you lift back up. We can start to find our tabletop again. Bringing the knees in, taking a sway of the hips side to side. And then sitting down again, you might be sitting cross-legged. We're going to try to find a stretch through the back of the neck though. So however you want to sit, maybe we'll go as far as rabbit pose in a moment, but letting the chin come towards the collarbone. So however you want to be seated. Now, if you want to be using your head or the floor, I suppose, to help you, you might want to start sitting on the heels. If you're not going to be bringing your head down all the way to the ground, you can just simply let the weight of your head tip forwards. You could add a little extra, maybe resting the hands on the head. Resist pulling on your head. Just let your arms kind of be heavy. Let your shoulders fall from your ears. And then if you want to join me, coming all the way down to rabbit pose, head to the ground, tuck your chin towards your collarbone, start to tip forwards. Bring your forehead as close to your knees as you can. And then wherever we are, we're just trying to bring the chin towards the collarbone. So whether you're using gravity, your hands for a little extra weight, or the ground to hold your head kind of in place, chin towards the collarbone. You can lift your hips off your heels though if you're using the ground. You can try to roll towards the back of the head. A little harder to talk in rabbit pose, so I want you to stay wherever you happen to be. Take 3 more smooth, slow breaths. Trying to feel the length through the back of the neck. And then depending on how you're feeling, you can either come to child's pose to rest the forehead on the ground. You could come to seated again, but just slowly lifting the chin up and away from the collarbone. And just taking a moment to pause. Eyes closed, maybe. Softening through the forehead, softening through the jaw. Notice the sensations flowing throughout your head, your neck, down your spine. Stay a little longer where you are, if you would like. We are going to be turning over and laying down on our backs again. You won't need your straps, but maybe your pillows. Maybe nothing at all. Once you're laying on your back, take a moment as always. Maybe add a gentle sway side to side. Maybe hugging the knees towards the chest. We will be making our way into a twist. So if you want your pillow to support your legs or bring the ground closer to your legs, you can have it on the left side. Our options today with the twist, of course, you can do any twist that you'd like to do, but if you wanted to let your knees tip over towards the left side and maybe just see if the feet want to go out to the left side too a little bit more and see how close you can get your feet to maybe being in line with the hips out to the left side. So instead of just extending the legs long down your mat towards the bottom, that might be where you're at. But you might also be scooching the feet up a little higher, little higher, little higher, and maybe allowing the hips to twist a little bit more. And then, of course, checking in with the shoulders. Let's try to keep the shoulders level, resting on the ground. Your legs might be on the straighter side of things. They might be bent. You could use your left hand to hold on to your legs a little bit. Let's stay on this side for maybe another breath or two, but make those breath a little slower and a little deeper. Your belly moving. And then you might be bending the legs, sliding the feet in a little bit more. You send them out a little further. Get to a place where you can lift your legs back up, coming out of your twist. And then a moment to maybe sway side to side a little or hug your knees to your chest. And then as we switch sides, your knees, maybe they're resting on your pillow as they tip over towards the right. Maybe the feet are sliding out a little further today. Just check, see how close you can get the feet to being straight out from those hips. Maybe they're further down, maybe they're further up. Letting the hips rotate. Checking in with the shoulders, keeping everything level through the upper body as best you can, getting a nice twist through the spine, letting the hips rotate. Okay. On this side again for just a few extra breaths, slower, deeper breath. Feeling that movement through the belly. Maybe you need to start to slide the feet back in. And eventually lifting your knees back up so that you're flat on your back again. Take a moment. A sway, maybe a hug of the knee. Options here to float the feet. Maybe that means you're hugging your knees to your chest. Maybe you're finding some length through the legs, letting the feet flow up higher and higher. Trying to relax through the ankles, the toes. You want to take this into happy baby. You might bend your knees again, maybe reaching for the feet. Gently press your low back to the ground. You have your feet lifted up in any way. You might start to bring them back together maybe, all the way to the ground. Taking a few extra sways of the knees side to side if you'd like. When you are ready to find Shavasana, whatever that's going to look like for you today, you might want a pillow under your knees or maybe even under your head. You might want to lay on one side, whatever is comfy. Taking just a few moments here. Allow yourself to relax. You can slowly, slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Any other small movements that feel good. Maybe using a deeper breath in to reach your arms above your head and find a nice big stretch. You're bending your knees and rolling over. And finding your way up to a comfy seat when you're ready. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Take one more deep breath in. Let it go. Awesome practice, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Oh, have a great weekend. Namaste.